Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Navid Hamidi, writer and video maker. In this video, I wanna start reading the spectacular now novel by Tharp from chapter 1 to chapter 32. Let's go. Chapter 1. So it's a little before 10 a.m. and I'm just starting to get a good buzz going. Theoretically, I should be in Algebra 2, but in reality I'm cruising over to my beautiful fat girlfriend Cassidy's house. She ditched school to get her haircut and needs a ride because her parents confiscated her car keys, which I guess is a little ironic considering that they're punishing her for ditching school with me last week. Anyway, I have this sweet February morning stretching out in front of me and I'm like, who needs algebra? So, what if I'm supposed to be trying to boost the old grades up before I graduate in May? I'm not one of these kids who's had their college plan set in stone since they were about 5. I don't even know when the application deadlines are. Besides, it's not like my education in some kind of priority with my parents. They're quite keeping track of my future when they divorced. And that was back in the pre-Cambrian era. The way I figured it, the community college will always take me. And who says I need college anyway? What's the point? Beauty is all around me right here. It's not in a textbook. It's not in a equation. Take the sunlight, warm but not too brash. It's not like a winter at all. Neither was January or December for that matter. It's amazing. We couldn't have had more than one cold week all winter. Listen, global warming's not lie. Take last summer. You want to talk about getting a beating from that heat. Last summer was a hardcore pugilist. Burn you down to the roots of your hair. It's like Cassidy said, global warming's not for lightweights. But this February sun, see the light absolutely pure and make the colors of the sky and the tree limes and the bricks of on this suburban house so clean that just looking at them is like inhaling purified air. The colors flow into your lungs, into your bloodstream. You are the colors. I prefer drinking my whiskey mix, so I pull into convenience store for a big 7-Up, and there is the kid standing out from bay to payphone. A very real looking kid, probably only about 6 years old, just wearing a hoodie and jeans, his hair sticking out every which way. Not one of these styling little kids you see in their brand new outfit and their TV show haircuts like there is some kind of miniature cock daddy. Of course, they wouldn't know what to do with a girl if she came in a box with the instruction on the light like Operation or Monopoly, but they have their act down. Right away, I take to this kid, so I say, "Hey dude, aren't you supposed to be at school or something?" And he's like, "Can I borrow $1?" I go, "What do you need with $1, little man?" And he's, "I'm going to buy a candy bar for breakfast." Now that gets my attention. A candy bar for a breakfast? My heart goes out to these kids. I offer to buy him a breakfast burrito, and he's okay with that as long as he gets his candy bar too. When we come back out, I look round to seize up what kind of traffic the kid's going to have to negotiate in his travel. We live just south of Oklahoma City. Technically, it's not a whole different city, but with the urban sprawl, you can't tell. You can't tell where one leaves off and the other begins. So we have a lot of traffic zipping around here. Look, I tell him as he drips down the front of himself. This is a pretty busy intersection. How about I give you a ride to wherever you're going to? Some big rig doesn't barrel down and flatten you like a squirrel. He looks over me, sizing me up just like a squirrel might actually do right before deciding to scamper off into his lair. But I'm a trustworthy looking guy. I have no style either, just a reasonably old jeans, beat up sneakers, and a green line sleeves t-shirt that says Ole on the front. My brown hair is too short to need much combing, and I have a little gap between my two front teeth, which gives me a friendly, good-hearted look. Oh, so I'm told. The point is I'm long way from scary. So the kid takes a chance and hop into a passenger side of my Mitsubishi Lancer. I've had it for about a year. It's all silver with a black interior. Not new or anything, but pretty awesome is a basic kind of way. My name is Sutter Kelly, I say. What's yours? Walter. He says around a mouthful of burritos. Walter. That's a good. I never known a little kid named Walter. It seems like an old man's name, but I guess you have to start somewhere. Now, Walter, I say, the first thing I want you to know is you shouldn't really take ride from strangers. I know, he says. Mr. Pegginpeg taught us all about that the stranger danger. That's good, I said. You should keep that in mind in the futures. And he goes, yeah, but how do you know who's stranger? That cracked me up. How do you know who's a stranger? That's kids for you. He can't comprehend. The people might be dangerous just because you haven't met them yet. He's probably got all sort of sinister ideas about what a stranger or black and raincoat, a scar on her cheek, long fingernails, shark teeth. But this about it. When you're 6 years old, you haven't met all that many people. It would be pretty mind-boggling to, to go around suspicious of 99% of the populace. I start to explain the stranger thing to him, but his attention span isn't all that long, and he gets sidetracked watching me pour whiskey into my big 7-Up. What's that? He asks. I tell him it's a C grams VO. So then he wants to know why I'm pouring it in my drink. I look at him and he has this authentic interest in his big round eyes. He really wants to know, what am I going to do? Lie to him? So I go, well, I like it. It's smooth. It has kind of a smoky flavor. I used to drink the Southern bourbons more, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. But if you're going for a nice, slow, all-day sort of buzz, those have a little too much bite. And to my way of thinking, people can smell them on your breath more. I tried Southern Comfort, but it's too sweet. Now it's a Canadian whiskeys for me now, although I've been known the mix fine for martini too. What's a martini? He says, and I can see it's a time to hit off the question before I end up spending the whole morning putting these kids through bartender school. I mean, he's a good kid, but my girlfriend is waiting on me, and she's not the most patient person in the world. Look, I say, I've got to moving along, so where you head? He finishes chewing the last of burritos, swallows, and says, Florida. Now, I can't give you mileage off the top of my head, but we are in Oklahoma, so Florida is a good 5 states away, at least. I explain that to him and he tells me to just drop him off at the edge of the town and he's walk the rest of the way. He's serious. I'm running away from home, he says. This kid is getting better all the time, running away to Florida. I take a hit of my whiskey and 7 and I can see it just like he does. A giant orange sun dripping down into the blast ocean you ever saw, with the palm trees genuflecting at its glory. Look, I say, Walter, maybe I be so bold and to ask why you are running away. He stares into the dashboard. Cause my mom made my dad move away and now he's in Florida. I'm like, oh shit, I can sympathize, little dude. Same thing happened to me when I was kid too. But you do. I was pissed, I guess. My mom wouldn't tell me where my dad moved to. I didn't run away, but I think it was around that time I set the tree in the backyard on fire. I'm not sure why, it was quite a sight. Thought that stokes his enthusiasm. Really? You set a whole tree on fire? Don't get any ideas, I tell him. You can get into some deep doggy for that kind of thing. You don't want to fireman made at you, do you? No, I don't want that. So, about this morning away deal, I can see your point. You'll go You get to visit your dad and you have adventure and shit. You could swim in the ocean, but to tell you the truth, I can't recommend it. Florida's too far. You try to walk and you're not going to find a convenience store on every corner. Where are you going to get your food then? I could hunt it. Yeah, you could. Do you have a gun? No. A knife or a rod and a reel maybe? I have a baseball bat, but it's at my home. There you go. You're not prepared. We probably have to go back and get your bag. But my mom's home. She thinks I'm in school. That's alright. I talk to her. I explain the whole situation. You will? Sure. Finish chapter 1.